This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The Drippers, the Grasshoppers, the Hit Ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Rachel Consola standing by, caller 9-844-999. Olo will play profile this in minutes. Hey, we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, the new dumb craze teenagers are falling for is called the deodorant challenge.
Oh, come on. Come on, man. What now?
It's where you spray deodorant in a single spot on your body for as long as you can take it.
And I guess what, it's just burning and all that
That's
from all the
the
alcohol.
thing, is that it says not to try it because you can end up with second-degree burns.
Oh, okay, but look, I will say this: if you spin a wheel and you have a choice between the Tide Pod challenge or the deodorant challenge, go deodorant.
Are we sure people are actually doing it? Because the snorting condoms thing turned out like a couple people did it years ago, and people were just like, "Look what they're doing now."
So it's just like your local news
Right, like,
doing
is this
that.
like one kid did this, and it's like it's the deodorant challenge?
I think it's very possible that's the case,
Yeah.
right? Because we get hit with this all the time. Here, well, they phrased it different now. Here's the thing your kid might be doing.
Yeah.
There's an old study making the rounds again that the average worker in the U.S. works more hours than a peasant did back in medieval times.
Yeah, but at least we're doing it for less money.
Right.
I wonder what the time difference is.
Huh?
Yeah, like, how long did a peasant
How
work?
much more are we working than a peasant?
Oh.
I know you're not working on it.
That's right. Pornhub is now selling socks with porn stars' faces on them.
Sweet.
So when you wipe off...
I don't know.
That's exactly what it
I
is.
mean, that's exactly what you're like. Why would they do that on socks? Like,
I mean,
every guy knows exactly why they put their faces on socks.
We've had porn stars on the show before. I don't know if they're actively still doing pornography. I'm sure I could think of someone who has done it before, but if you ask me who's doing it actively right now with a name, I don't know if I could come up with. I mean, Stormy Daniels, I guess.
But here's the thing: does it matter? I mean, like, I don't know her name.
Like if you
but
show
I
me
like that face.
if you show me the socks, I couldn't be like, that's such.
I don't know. We had a guy call the other day, and I guess we like who is the celebrity that you masturbate
Oh, yeah.
to, right?
Oh, yeah.
And,
He-
and
right,
he
boom.
named
He
this
knew
woman.
it.
We had no idea who she was. You pulled it up on Pornhub, but as soon as we saw her, I'm like, I know exactly who she is. I didn't know her name. I don't remember her name.
You don't take time to learn her name, Thrill.
Do not care at all.
The website Thrillist posted a list of the best taco joint in every state.
All right.
Ooh. Yeah. Any thoughts?
Depends
well-
on what you like as far as your taco. I think it's kind of like what you say with a hamburger as far as the different types. And
Are we just guessing the best tacos states or places?
That's what the list is. Best taco joint in every state.
All right, in Utah, I'll say Red Iguana.
All right. Miles?
Are you making that place up?
No. It's in Salt Lake
Okay,
City.
I
I've
didn't
been
know.
there.
I don't know.
I mean, you're
I
right.
think-
That did sound like my BS.
I'm just like
but no.
red iguana. I'm like, sounds like something I would just say.
I mean, I know what I like locally, but I there's lots of good Mexican food
I'm
out
gonna
there.
say,
Depends on what you. I mean,
Cracky's Tacos, something like that.
Well, I don't have the list in front of me, so I'm not working on it. A man in Florida stabbed his friend in the thigh over the weekend. Now he claims it was an accident, and he was trying to use the knife to open a beer.
oh come on.
But
Oh,
the
they-
beer was in his leg.
Yes.
They were shotgunning beers, and he stabbed a bruh. It's happened.
in
You
the
call
thigh,
him
Ted.
bro or bruh?
Bruh.
If you
Yeah,
said
in the thigh.
bruh, then
Bruh.
Look, Mike, I'm holding a beer. I'm going to cut it open, stabbing people.
Bruh.
That does
That's
not
a
look
hell
like
of
an
a thrust to
accident.
just pop
I
open
know.
a beer, man.
Bruh.
You clearly are trying to kill Mike. That's. I mean, that's what I saw with that.
Oops, is that your femoral artery?
I'm just setting up a defense.
Uber just unveiled its new flying car prototype, which basically looks like a giant drone.
Okay. Yeah.
Because why do you want to die in the sky?
Right. I don't know how much.
I mean,
it's
sorry,
flying
Uber,
cars.
but like, I'm out, man.
My theory is that planes are really the only safest way to travel because only a certain amount of people can do it.
There's a limited number of people that do it. There's all kinds of rigorous testing. Things go wrong because things go wrong, but just
Right.
the air traffic control, the all of that. And then there's Uber. And I go, look, man, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm feeling archaic, but I like the idea that we have all of these things set up when I get on the plane.
I'm just thinking, we open up the same drivers that are on the roads right now into the skies. Your fatality rate's going to just go through
Why
the
is
I
that
roof.
a
would
good
think you'd
idea?
have to have a different license to fly than just drive.
I
Sure.
understand that.
But you also have a different license to drive a motorcycle versus a car. It's not like it's that rigorous. Just thinking, man, a fender bender in the sky is a little bit more serious than a fender bender here on the road.
I agree, but I would also have to think it's going to be a little more serious to get a pilot's license.
Testing doesn't do anything, Ted. I can tell you what you need to do, but that doesn't mean I know how to do it when I'm actually in the situation.
But I ain't using flying Uber. Sounds scared.
I mean, how many people actually use it?
I've defended these guys.
You have to say that that it is illegal to not use your signal blinker on the road, yet how many people don't do it, Ted?
How about can I just get flying me car? Like, does it have to be an Uber? I mean, can I just get my own flying car?
That's really what I'm trying to avoid here, Miles.
Okay.
Where are you going to land these things?
On top of my house. Apartment complex. They got a pad up there.
I got a helipad up there.
That's right.
Apparently, the Prime Minister of Japan was offended while having dinner at the Prime Minister of Israel's house because their trendy hipster dessert was served in a shoe instead of a bowl.
Why would you serve a world leader a meal in a shoe? I don't care.
Because this world leader was eating it too.
I'm sure even he's like, what the F is this? Why did you put my meal? I'm
Sounds
going to
like
be
the
cool.
old man in the shoe. Yeah, so many children, you know what to do with the old woman.
Welcome to our country. It is very positive. Have some food in a shoe.
Baked Chuck Taylor, anyone? Complaining.
Yeah, that's a
No.
terrible call.
What kind of fish is this? Soul.
This dessert looks kind of Skechers. Complaining at work is good for your mental health and actually makes you better at your job, according to a new study.
Huh.
Say that again?
Complaining at work is good for your mental health and actually makes you better at your job.
Oh, at work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
That makes sense.
All right, because you're motivating yourself as much as you're admonishing people, right?
No.
This is how you get this damn thing done. And next thing you know, you did it.
That's not complaining. That's just bursting out. Complaining is, I'm bored. I didn't get enough sleep last night. This is hard. That's complaining.
This is hard.
This is hard.
If you're an adult and that's what someone says at work.
We weren't supposed to talk about that.
I feel like we found out.
This is hard. Quit touching it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Found out the secret ingredient to butter and rice. It's a pinch of salt.
It's right. Damn right.
And pepper.
Entenmann's is looking for a new chief donut officer. And if you get...
Sorry, I yelled in.
What is, Entenmann's not really known for their donuts.
Boom! He's found his calling.
That's why you needed a new one.
Yeah.
Whoa, intimate donuts are good.
I'm not saying they're not
Store
good.
bought,
I'm saying they're-
the long 8-pack.
I think they're more known for their fruit kind of things, like their.
Well, Intimates has a whole line of
Yes,
delicious
I'm saying they
things.
have that, but just not donuts. They have.
That's
everything.
why they need a new donut ambassador. The other one failed,
I should
obviously.
be this donut ambassador.
Ted, they will pay you $5,000 and give you a year's supply of donuts. Apply online.
I'm in.
Google.
Year's supply. How does that work? Do they give you like a year's supply
Right.
today?
Is it my year's supply or is it a skinny person's year's supply?
Oh, that's a good question.
My vegan girlfriend's year's supply.
What is that, like two?
No, it's just an eyeful. That's all it is.
An eyeful.
Google is about to start
They
experimenting.
send her a picture of a donut, and to her, that is full payment. Like, you know what? That is my year's worth.
Google's about to start experimenting with a new app that makes phone calls for you.
Oh, please don't.
It's so hard to call now.
I really don't want that.
They've
What if it
created
makes the calls I'm supposed to make, but I don't want to?
Like, oh my God, my mom's on the phone.
Right.
Jesus.
They've created a bot with artificial intelligence that can call places, make appointments, and carry on surprisingly natural conversations with the people on the other end.
I don't know. You don't know what a natural conversation is for me.
Oh, it makes the whole phone call for you.
Yeah.
That's
Start to
awesome.
finish. Hello, Mom. How are you? Did you take your pills?
See, my mama knows it's not me. You still alive, woman? Okay. Click. That's my welfare check. She answered.
Call me when I get the will. A woman in Arizona learned the hard way that you should never take care of seemingly helpless wildlife.
Why is that?
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Take it by cock. Headlines coming up 1 hour from now. But first, the game is.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
Steven Throw can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Janelle. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Nickering horses.
Liquor and horses.
You dirty, dirty girl. All right, do you understand how this here game is played?
That first word was scary.
It was nickering with an N.
I know. It doesn't make it less scary.
Don't keep saying it. Like, I'm offended you didn't even
yes,
say,
I do
just
know
stop
how
it.
the game is played.
You do know the game is played. Fantastic.
I bet you go to an arts and crafts store about once a week, right?
No.
Okay, all right. Seemed like it.
What kinds of arts and crafts are you picturing?
I don't know. Beads, something weird.
Okay. All right, here is your story. A California woman with a phobia of lizards came face to face with her fears when a lizard wandered into her office. That's right. The woman said she arrived for work at a storage facility on Monday morning when a lizard darted through the door in front of her. She said she tried to avoid the lizard, but was concerned it would rush her like all of those lizards before. Security camera footage from the business even shows her jumping onto the counter. She says she tried calling for help, but there was no one around. Quote, nobody was around. The bus drivers were going in and out. My boss wasn't here. The maintenance guy wasn't here. I recorded myself calling out for help. She eventually posted a video on social media pleading for help, saying, quote, somebody help me. Somebody come to my office and get the lizard, please. I'm going to cry. I have sandals on. I have sandals on. She said on the Facebook post that the lizard eventually left on its own after 15 or 20 minutes. Finally, she simply said, I don't like lizards. Do you believe that this brave woman is black, white, Mexi, or Asian?
Oh, my goodness. I think it's a toss-up between Asian and white. What do you guys think?
Well, she's in her office. A lizard. First of all, I just love that phrase. The lizard strolled or walked in.
Darted in. Lizard.
Darted in.
I assume that's her description of how it went, right? Yes, darted.
She's so scared. She's wearing sandals. She went to social media for help. It's a white woman.
I don't think.
There is a white woman with lizards running around outside.
Janelle, this woman is definitely not Mexican. In my mind, she's not Asian. I'm going to go black.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I just want to see someone jumping up on top of a desk and screaming.
Usually it's a sign that David Blaine
right,
just
exactly.
did a trick outside.
I don't know why. I just for some reason, there's no tip on this at all. I have no idea why. That's what I believe.
You guys make it hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Asian.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Asian final answer. We're going to find out if she's black, white, Mexican, or Asian next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Profile this takes us to California, and a woman who was working with a lizard jumped out in front of her there at work. She's wearing sandals. She does not like lizards at all. She is freaked the hell out by this animal. Gets up on the counter, starts screaming for help. She posts a video on social media, the whole deal, the drama. Eventually, the lizard goes away, and I guess she got back to business. But the question there, was she black, white, Mexican, or Asian?
And Janelle, I believe you, in the end, you said Asian, and that was your final answer.
Right.
Oh, sorry. White.
Yes. She's wearing sandals. She's scared in her own office of a small lizard. And that's just a white thing. I have a phobia of lizards.
Small lizards.
Right. And then she went on social media.
Asking for help. And one of her pleas was, I'm wearing sandals. I'm wearing sandals. That was part of her scream.
Damn it, Becky.
That's a Becky move. No, Becca, she would have gotten the lizard, put it in a glass, and let it back outside because she's not scared.
Yeah, Becky's.
That's why I'm Becca. Becky wears sandals.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Tim.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Folks, it's the biggest story gripping the nation right now. And I have one simple question. Do you think you could tell the difference between a house cat and a bobcat? Well, we go to San Antonio. KHOU. I almost called it KUOU. Making up signs now.
It doesn't matter. Credit anybody.
Right. KHOU. Main reason, you'll hear the audio, but then go to the Men's Room Facebook page and check out the video. Because you got to see what these bobcats look like.
A San Antonio family with good intentions to save and feed homeless kittens learned the hard way about the difference between harmless house cats and wild bobcats.
Eyewitness News reporter Sharon Coe joins us now. And Sharon, when did they realize these were wild animals? Deborah and Jeff, ACS says it didn't click for some time. The family found the 2 kittens at a back alleyway and thought they were domesticated kittens.
Meow!
They were brought inside, and when the family went to feed them milk, 3 people got bit on their hands.
All right, again, go to the Men's Room Facebook page and watch this video. Have you guys seen the video?
They look like bobcats.
They look like bobcats.
They look like exactly what you think a bobcat looks like is precisely what they look like.
Number one, bobcats have, the fur looks like a bobcat, and they don't have tails.
And, they're a little bigger than your average kitten. Meow! Oh, look at the pretty kitten.
I guess if I saw kittens, I'd be worried about them. But that whole story just sounds right. Like. It just sounds shady. Oh, we found these kittens in the back of an alley.
Yeah.
I don't know, Chuck. Just not feeling this one. I think you brought some wild animals.
I like that woman, though, man. She was very news reportery. So tell us about the moment they found out these were wild animals. Why would you say it like that? Tonight, I just want to get wild. Come on over, let's do some wild.
Also, the idea of, let's say, Miles, you got to get over here. I found some kittens over there. There's 3 bobcats. They're biting us.
Right. And they've chewed through the bottles and the nipples because they're so aggressive that they're just...
They had plastic bottles. They ripped through the plastic bottles. And they're still like, aren't they cute?
Right?
Jesus.
Just remember, if they were bigger, they would eat you. It doesn't matter if they were your house cat.
Right.
Either way,
it could take
doesn't
you.
matter.
Look
at Dr. G all the time. He looks at me like, I could eat you if I just could grow a little bit.
If I were 20 pounds heavier, I'd give it a chance.
I seriously would try to kill you in your sleep. Just know that.
I'm a cat. As long as you keep feeding me and I'm smaller than you, we're cool. You can pet me, but I want you to know something. If I gain 20 or 30 pounds, I would try to kill you.
Well, it seems like cats overall, they would just kill everything and just be cats.
Right.
Whereas even giant dogs, what are those giant ones in Russia that are super scary? They use them at the prisons and
I can picture
I
them,
looked
but
it
I
up
don't know
online one day and it's look, if any other humans, specifically children, are involved anywhere in your life, you cannot have this dog.
I've seen pictures of Putin shirtless riding those things.
But even that dog, it notes, is very loyal to its owner.
Right.
It just basically hates everybody else and will attack them. So I'm saying, even one of the meanest dogs in the world at the end likes one human, whereas the cats...
Yeah, they don't look. And I know there's cat people out there. And look, I have a cat. My cat's quite lovely. The cat is quite nice. But I understand the cat is nice simply because it knows it cannot kill me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and it's not just cats. A lot of our society is based on this. I'm just thinking about...
That's why they have laws against murder.
I'm free thinking here. Free thinking. Waiters and food and our cash, right? So think about all the waiters or waitresses you've encountered.
Okay.
Generally, they don't like you.
Whoa. I don't know that it's been that bad,
so
man.
the laws in general that your servers do not like you.
Well, you're a customer. It's hard for you. Got to be really charming.
They're not personally invested in your well-being.
They just don't like you.
Right. But you have money, and they want the money. The restaurant wants the money, and they have food. So it's kind of like these cats. If there was no food, or we didn't, the whole system would break down.
Okay, all right. So you're saying...
I guess that's not really that deep of a thought.
Right. You run out of meow mix. The apocalypse will be upon ye.
Waitress staring you down. I hate you.
I paid you for €1.
But you have food
I
back
expect
there.
€1.
I got to be nice to you, so you'll bring me the sandwich.
Yeah, right? Hopefully with
It's
no
a deal.
spit.
It's a deal. It's negotiating.
No, you'll get the sandwich. Be nice so she doesn't tell her buddy in the kitchen, I don't like that guy at table 3. You mix it in with the aioli, they never tell.
Woody Harrelson. What do we know about Woody Harrelson?
Likes to smoke weed, lives on Hawaii.
Okay, so he apparently, a couple things. He stopped smoking weed for 2 years.
Could anyone tell?
Well, here's the funny part. Do you know who he blames for getting him back into it?
Willie Nelson.
Yes. It was something like Willie Nelson was basically you're just taking a break. You'll be back. I also like that Woody Harrelson was I quit for 2 years. I mean, sure, I had an occasional edible here and there.
I quit smoking.
I'm not a nun.
Right.
First of all, you're a dude, so I think a priest is the reference we're looking for. And, yeah, I mean, he could be a priest now, so we could all worship sexy Rihanna Pope. But Woody Harrelson used to be very religious, and he went to college with Mike Pence. He was talking about
where'd you go to college?
Hanover College.
Hanover College.
Yeah.
Mike Pence was a student at Hanover College while you were there.
Yes, that's
and you
true.
knew him? I know. We're both very religious. It was a Presbyterian college at the time, and I was there on a Presbyterian scholarship, and he was involved with the, church activities.
When you say you were there on a Presbyterian scholarship, you were so good at being Presbyterian, they drafted you and gave you a scholarship?
I was actually considering being a minister, and then I just kind of went a different way.
Yeah, you did.
You know what? I remember I actually quite liked him. I thought he was a pretty good guy. He's very, very religious, very committed. Seeing it how I'm not quite in that ballpark now, I don't know how we get along. Because I think he's still quite religious.
Yeah.
And, just a whole different brand of religious.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson, by the way, is smoking weed again.
Different brand of religious.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a weird question, too. And people are like, you went to, where were they like? And it's like, well, we were in college, so we were all kind of like college kids. Mm-hmm. Like, there's some people I went to high school with that now I see what they do, and I'm like, holy cow.
How did that happen?
Right, it's easy. Like, some of the super great athletes run, like, camps or something.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
So you go like, all right, that's fair. But, like, the one guy's like lieutenant governor of Virginia. Like,
you just can't wrap your head around it.
I can't get past it. But nobody saw that coming, is my point.
Okay. Yeah.
But he was in student government, all right.
He was not voted most likely to do that?
I don't know. I'm still just mad about it. But I just think it's hard you can't tell.
Invested in Warby Parker.
Nobody in college, nobody in high school or college is sitting there going, this is going to be the next chief of police.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know. You know what people are not going to do. You just don't know what people are going to do.
Yeah, some of my high school are guys that I went to high school with. If I see them now, they're just even shocked. Like, you smoke marijuana? Like, yeah. Because I used to be so anti it. Those like, that's crazy. So people change. Woody Harrelson smokes weed now. Mike Pence, vice president.
That's right.
Yeah.
Can't believe they're the same age.
You smoke weed now.
Just based on
other guy.
Lieutenant governor.
Lieutenant governor of Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Serious guy, not so serious guy. Yeah. That's what ends up happening.
Yeah, well, we were both class presidents.
Serious guy looks older all the time.
Oh, yeah, they always do.
That's one thing that's true. Serious guy always looks older than his age.
If you live pure, you look like crap. That just seems to be how it goes, right?
Well, you just don't look... You look serious. You look older. I think the more serious you are...
Your hair grays
faster. The older you look. I mean, God damn it. What's the guy's name in Texas?
Guy in Texas.
Ted Cruz?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's like 34. You know what I mean? Like, Ted Cruz is like... He's like a young guy. But he's so freaking serious that he looks old. I don't know how old Ted Cruz is. He is a lot... He looks like he's 55, 60 years old.
But part of
his
problem,
he
I
is
think,
not.
He's also really, really ugly. And I don't say that to be mean, but look, when you're really ugly, somehow you just look older. So he's a serious, ugly dude,
Mike Pence,
which by default makes him look...
Mike Pence is not an ugly guy.
Right, he's normal
Ted
looking.
Cruz is 47.
He's 47.
I mean,
why does he look like that? What happened?
I mean, right. He's 47.
You drinking water bottled in Flint? Like, how did you end up looking like that?
I think part of the stuff, too, is just people that are on TV all the time. And it's just, you see them. So like most people in everyday life, like, you know what I mean? It's like when you see somebody you haven't seen in 10 years, you could tell they age because you haven't seen them in a while. But when you see somebody every day, it's right.
Yeah.
Whereas like these people are on TV and we see them all the time.
So you don't notice that they look like crap anymore.
No, I think you notice how they're getting older.
Right.
Like nobody's going to walk up to a normal, well, you guys might.
What?
I was like, generally, you don't walk up to your friend and be like, you look old as hell.
You look crap.
Yeah, we absolutely will. How much weight did you gain since the last time?
What happened to you?
Like you two are a bad example.
Did you eat your wife, get divorced, or is she just not here?
Oh, she died? Oh, I'm sorry.
God damn it.
My bad.
But then did you eat her?
So I'm just saying, I think people that are on TV, it's tougher. We see them all the time.
We see them all the time, but how many times? I mean, it could have been something like, hell, I don't know, when Letterman was finishing up, 2, 3, 4 years ago. And we saw him every day, and you knew he looked older, but it's based on the fact that he had gray hair, right?
Yeah.
But then when they started doing a retrospective on him, and it would even just be 10 years previous, it was amazing how much younger they looked. Or anytime they show like morning national news, like the Matt Lauers of the world and all the people that host all that corny crap in the morning, they'll show a clip they did like 2 years ago, and you're like, damn! Mm-hmm. And that's with makeup for HD TV, man.
That's what's cool about Facebook. It always reminds you. Remember 5 years ago what you were doing? Yeah.
You were growing hair.
Right.
Living life.
Right.
Taking names.
Growing hair, brushing all of your teeth.
Talk about the show all the time. You know what? As we're talking about it, by the way, it was number 2 in the ratings. NCIS, of course. Talked about how they have some super popular characters on there. Well, Paula Peretti.
I don't know. I know you're talking about.
Abby.
I don't know.
She's the forensic scientist on the show, right? So she played a fake scientist on the show. She wanted to start a legacy about real female scientists. So she set up 2 scholarships, basically so that other women who wanted to be scientists could follow in her footsteps, even though she only played one on TV.
All right. Well, hey,
whatever, man.
If you can do good.
One was at a school that's hard to pronounce at Georgia, Volsta. And then the other one, of course, is John Jay, the College of Criminal Justice in New York City.
The John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
I feel like I only know that college from references in a rap song.
That's probably it.
Yeah, somebody went to John Jay. Shorty went to John Jay. She did study criminal science, psychology, and down at Volta State. And they got her master's at John Jay, where she says she, after that, accidentally became an actress.
They should be the Vulcans. The Volta Vulcans.
Yeah, why not? So she did all that and accidentally started acting.
Yeah.
Okay.
She says, plus, you living in New York and Manhattan, I'm sure there's probably more avenues to get into acting.
There are, but I'd also think there's 10 times as many people going for any, you know what I mean? Right, the opportunity's there, but everybody's there.
I do like she also.
Good for her.
Also, what did it say? You do have to be a woman, obviously, to qualify her scholarship.
Oh, man.
But you don't have to be goth. The character was always very goth.
Gothy.
Very
gothy.
Yeah, I don't know the John Jay School of Criminal Justice where I expect to see a lot of goth kids.
No, probably not.
Right?
You want a bus, crooks?
You see the commercials.
Come to John Jay College of Criminal Crap.
Lifetime's doing both a movie and a docu-series. How's that different than a... What do they used to call them? Miniseries?
Docu-series, I think, is when it's kind of like, think of...
was this The People versus O.J. Simpson?
Think of John Walsh. When he used to do that show, they would do reenactments.
America's Most Wanted. Yeah.
Like, it was more like they were just reenacting what happened, and then there was kind of more...
But they tried to stay true to at least the available information.
Yeah, instead of like someone that you know in character playing that role of, and then it's like a TV movie.
All right. Well,
so they narrate it, I guess.
They're doing both of those on the R. Kelly accusations.
Yeah, like the women that R. Kelly keeps held up in his home are normally between 16 and 12.
How did all of this start resurfacing again, right? Because this stuff has been...
I think more people are just coming out speaking, right?
As long as I've been aware of R. Kelly, this has followed him. This
stuff has always been there, right? Yeah. There was always the rumors about him marrying a Leo when she was young, under 18
or something. Yeah.
Right. And then there was, of course, he went on trial. Somehow beat that.
I don't know.
Right. So I think the R. Kelly thing, I don't know. Part of it's got to be the Me Too movement. Like, these were just terrible things that were happening, and people kind of were just letting it go. I mean, look, it's going to be the same basic line, right? People know this stuff's going on. People are making a ton of money off R. Kelly.
So they're not saying.
So people are turning the other way or whatever. But then as more people came forward, and now these girls are kind of getting out of this area, like, could escape his home and stuff, more people are telling the story.
Sure.
Yeah, it sounds like a cult.
Oh, yeah. It's insane. And that's Lifetime. Trust me, the R. Kelly stuff is going to go deep. And there's going to be a lot of stuff on that.
Deeper than Lifetime normally goes, I would guess. Yeah, the Lifetime doesn't go deep.
I want to play the title role in the Chuck Berry documentary.
Legs up far.
One scene I want to recreate.
A lot of people have been talking about Facebook having their dating now, and James Corden's got some funny thoughts on that.
Some big news out of Facebook. They are adding a new feature that will allow people to use Facebook as an online dating app. Yeah. Facebook might be good at this. They already did such a good job matching up American voters with Russian trolls. I think it'll be fine. Here's the thing. Hasn't Facebook always been a dating site? Specifically for married men in their 50s who leave their wives after reconnecting with their high school sweethearts. That's it, isn't it? I'm not sure Facebook understands why we use Facebook. Facebook isn't for finding dates. It's for finding people we used to date. Then we silently judge them, feel better about ourselves. That's the only use for Facebook. Now, your existing friends online won't be able to see your dating profile. Yeah, and you thought Facebook had a problem with fake news before. James Corden, 28 years old, 6'2", loves to hike.
He makes some solid points. social networking is already almost like a dating websites on their own. Like, I mean, not everybody has used them, but almost everybody I know has.
Yeah, everyone I've ever talked to basically has, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to sound old. MySpace was the best. But, right? I mean, it's always been that way. And it's a simple way to find people. Like, if you have mutual friends or, somebody from your, from the past and somebody you might know.
Well, then you can stalk each other. Basically, it's like a big reality show because you kind of know you're being watched, and I think that's part of the reason. Because people, they put up these fake photos, and they put of course, because they know they're being watched. I mean, look, man, if you are home alone and you want to scratch your balls after the shower, you do. If you know that every room you walk into has a camera mounted, you're going to behave differently.
100%. And you're right. And people don't put out the bad stuff.
Right, because basically you're being stalked by any freak that cares about what you do in your life, man. I mean, so yeah, everyone, you're going to gloss it up a little. It's the equivalent of like combing your hair before you leave the house.
Yeah.
Right? And that's all it is.
I also think scarily from now, like 50, 60 years from now, Facebook dating just going to be a way to find out the age on a dead body.
Oh, jeez.
Like, when did he sign up for Facebook?
Right.
Okay, see his profile.
Okay, right there. Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. We'll get your headlines coming up here with Mike in just a few minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A Maryland cop getting all the feels for showing groundhog and shooting him dead in the road. Meanwhile, a man uses City Mapper and sees Pig of a Park showing people lightening their load. Virginia man wearing high-heel stockings and no pants likes to take long walks in the park. A woman attempts to help injured Al, and yeah, that's going to leave a mark. And a man gets pulled over, tells a cop he has $25K in coke at his home. And he does. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
All right, our top story in Arizona. A woman was driving down the road late at night when she spotted a horned owl laying on the road that appeared to be injured. Thinking she was doing the right thing, she picked up the owl and placed it in her car to take to someone that could help. Bad idea. The owl came back to life and dug its talons into the steering wheel of the car and the woman's arm. The woman tried throwing water on the animal, but it proved ineffective. The owl eventually let go of its own volition and stumbled out of the car.
Yeah, just don't, man. Let nature be nature.
Nature's brutal, nature's cruel, and even though we don't like it, we make it worse by interfering.
Yeah, then nature will grip your ass while you're driving.
That's right.
Splash water in its face.
It's terrible as it sounds.
Not water. It's not the Wicked Witch of the goddamn West. It's an owl.
It drank the water and just stared her down like, what else you got?
Who do you think I am?
Right? Yes. Around the world in the UK, a man was stopped by police after he was caught driving down the road using his mobile phone. When the police officer approached the car, he immediately noticed that the man was shaking and sweating profusely. The man then immediately blurted out that he had a $700 stash of cocaine and a Kinder Egg, and even more at his house. The man's honesty led police to his home, where they uncovered nearly $25,000 worth of cocaine, and he was, of course, arrested.
I bet he was.
Just keep your mouth shut, man.
Nervous? Just want to be honest.
That is a big surprise.
That is a big surprise. It's a lot.
Where was this at?
This was in the UK.
I was going to say, I don't think you can get Kinder Eggs over here.
That's one.
Yeah.
I believe you're right.
I said dollars just because it's easier than saying pounds.
All right.
Kinder Eggs.
Kinder Eggs.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was just safer for him to go to jail.
Why would it be safer to go to jail? Look,
especially after he just said, yeah, I'm running a cocaine operation out of my home.
Well, at that point, yeah, but they probably said, hey, man, we're just going to say put your cell phone down.
It sounds like he was ready to turn himself in and be done with it.
Or he was high and paranoid.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
Right? Because that's not the normal reaction. Put your phone down. I have coke all over me.
The stress was killing him, man. He needed it to go away.
Yeah.
It's all right, just buy, don't sell.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told.
In other news, there's a phone app making headlines called City Mapper. And its function is exactly like it sounds. It's just a map app. But the reason it's making headlines is because of one of its users noticed a shocking photo that it used for a popular park. The man wrote the app on Twitter asking why there was a picture of an orgy when he typed in the name of the park.
Was it a real orgy?
It was, dude.
So like Google Earth or something? And
just a picture of the park.
Yeah, basically they had a picture of the park, but an orgy was going on when they took the picture.
And there's a pile of people over there.
Tons of people that are getting it on.
I want to go to that park.
Is it daytime?
Yes.
Who's having daytime orgies in park?
I don't know.
People at that park? Isn't that the park you want to visit?
Yeah, the Twitter account got back to him quickly saying that they are working to get it fixed.
Okay.
And it's really just an innocent park.
There's nothing to fix. Sometimes people have orgies in this park. This is a picture of the park.
Where they meet.
Some people walk dogs. Some people have sex.
Park goer beware. You may be in for a scare.
Yeah. I feel like that's a little jarring. You go to the park.
And there's an orgy?
There's an orgy.
There's a pile of people.
I go.
And that's when you take the dog off the leash and let him run wild.
That's right.
Go smell some butt.
He'd join in, man.
Stick your nose right up in there. It's a cold little nose.
See how long before they notice.
Ooh, cold, wet dog nose.
You got some big fingers. Wait.
Big old lumpy, wet nose.
Lord.
It's got his little nubs on it. Little
whiskers taking your little
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Those little bumps. Bumpy black dog nose, wet. Slimy. Right in your butt cheeks.
When the nose is dry, you know it's over.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, baby.
Orgy's over.
Oh, damn it. That's all I've got. I'm sorry. That's every headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
See you next time. Thank you, Mike, for the return of Big Dummy. The head chef is back with Ted's Meat and Potatoes. No S. Sherlock, and we'll drink and toast with the shot of the day.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. But in the meantime, we be all up out this bitch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The men's room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited.